There's a thing called the unlearning to relearn. I've had those times where I'll say to myself, I've been losing account. I'll take a break, then I'll come back. Now, when I'm coming back with X2 force.
Every profitable trader out there is a losing trader. Until you know and you are comfortable with the fact that you'll be losing money in trading, you will never be profitable.
And I don't think people understand the behind the scene. People see the glows, they see the lifestyle, they see the trips, and they're like, oh, I want to be like you one day. You can't marry the outcome and leave the process. These things, they work together. The outcome you see now is a byproduct of the process. There are times where I go sleepless nights. I don't even eat. I don't eat because I can't afford. If I eat that money now, I would not have money to deposit.
Hey guys, we are back again. It's the Profitable Podcast, the episode 7. Wow, man. I think we should be thinking of doing celebrations of episode 7. This is good. All right, this is the Profitable Podcast, and it's designed for traders, people who want to gain insights, information, things that will help them, level up in their trading journey. My name is Danny P. Esu. Yeah, you can also call me the FX host. I feel super excited today, and I don't know if it's because I'm wearing white. I feel like an angel. I just landed, you can call me Angel Danny P, All right, so today I have with me someone very interesting because his story is everybody. In fact, you should come close, sit around and get yourself something. It's going to be a movie today. Trust me, because this person I have with me today is going to tell us a lot. I've been hearing people going through a lot when it comes to forex and also being able to surmount the challenges. Today we have someone in the flesh and the blood and everything. He's live right here to tell us how he survived it. Okay, I'm talking of, before I even mention his name, let me just give you a hint. Have you ever lost up to 700 million naira before? 700. I don't know how I would survive, man. But if you are in that kind of shoe and you want to know how to go through this, or maybe how to come off or come out of it, all right? This person that is here today, our guest, is going to tell us how he was able to surmount this. His name is Hephzibah Elegbele. Yeah, I was praying to God I should be able to get that name right. And I got it right. Did I?
Yes.
Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing, man?
I'm very well.
That's good. You wearing the glasses feels like a tech guy. Are you a tech guy?
No, I'm not. But yeah, maybe fintech. Maybe, just maybe.
Okay.
Forex, I don't know, but I feel
you
Forex
might just
is
dabble into
just,
it.
just
Right.
maybe.
Interested.
Yeah.
So how are you doing, man?
I'm very well.
You're doing good.
It's really good.
How's the
to be here.
Forex
Life
life and everything?
Forex has been Forex.
Forex has been Forexing you.
He has been Forexing. But yeah, Forex has been good, I would say. Yeah, but it has been turbulent in a way.
Turbulence.
Yeah, but overall
Okay.
it has been very good.
All right, before we even get to talk about the whole turbulence of Forex, because everybody gets to have that at one point or the other.
Yeah.
So I had earlier hinted by people that we'll be talking about, how to manage and surmount losses, right? So before I get to allow you to tell that story, let's meet you, know who Hephzibah is. Like, what was growing up like for you? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Hephzibah, that's my name. And I like to identify as a Forex trader, although I do quite a number of things, right? And growing up wasn't really, I don't know. I schooled in Ibadan, right? I did my secondary school education too, was pretty much in Ibadan. Then I used to be that weird kid, like that stubborn kid. Yeah. So I think the interesting thing about myself growing up was anything you told me not to do was what I would do. Do you understand? So that was something about me. And yeah, I used to be very, very, book smart when I was growing up. So finished secondary school. Then I, gained admission, Federal University of Ekiti, did my 4 years course and all of that. Although while I was in school, as much as I was book smart, like I said, I was always saying it then in school that I was never going to, go the academic route. I didn't want to use my certificate to do anything. But I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do outside school. But I just knew that, I was exposed to. It's a funny story.
Okay.
So it's a funny story. So I was exposed to money at a very young age, but it was a bad thing. So let me explain.
At what age?
I was at a very young age, at the age of maybe 12, 13. I was.
Wow.
So like I said, it's a bad thing. Okay. So I was used to stealing my parents' money.
Oh my.
You understand?
I should start calling your father now. Imagine your dad watching this and be like.
So when I say stealing, people think it's small money. But I was stealing like big money right when I was in GS1, GS2 and all of that.
Wow.
Like at a very young age. So I knew what money was from a very young age. So I knew that there was a kind of life. I didn't steal outside my house. Do you understand? But I was used to stealing my parents' money. So then when my mates were spending, and I'm saying far back, 2012. Okay, I finished secondary school 2012. So maybe 2006, 2007, I was already stealing 50,000 naira. You know what it means? Like, that was big money then. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
As a GS1 student,
Wow.
I was very stubborn. And that's what I used. So then, right, I had a picture of what it meant to, have money. Do you understand? So I knew I wasn't going to settle. But it was a bad way, like I said. It was in a bad way, but I knew I was going to. So that's it.
I'm tempted to ask you the strategies you used to.
Strategies I used to. No.
Because it's gonna be crazy. Because, imagine you telling the strategy. You might have a 12-year-old kid watching this, be like, man, I'm gonna apply this.
No, please, no.
So don't try that.
So then I finished, university.
Yeah.
And I was doing a business So like I said, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to be financially free and all of that. But I did not know what vehicle it was going to be, like what business venture it was going to be. So then I stumbled on, what's the word now? What's the digital marketing?
Okay. Yeah.
So then I used to market products for Forever Living products. I don't know if I'm, So I used to sell products for them. I used to sell products online, men products, health related products. So I started that in 300 level. Yeah. Yes. So I did that up until my NYC. So that was making me some like good amount of money in school. I remember I started the business then with the pocket money that my parents gave me, everything. So I think one thing I discovered about myself very early was my risk appetite has always been high, very, very high.
Risk appetite
has always been high. So then my dad gave me 30,000 naira. I can't forget. It was then in school. I started everything. I started business with everything that amount, and I trekked like for the longest because the business didn't start making me money almost immediately. So ventured into digital marketing. Then it was making sense at the beginning. Then maybe towards my project defense and all of that, I started having issues in the business and all of that. So I continued again when I went for NYC. Then fortunately and unfortunately, I will just say, I have a very, very strong musical background. I used to play instruments full time.
Which one? Keyboard?
I play the keyboard professionally. I play bass guitar very well. I play the drums. That's my major.
Shake keyboard. I do that too. I play the keyboard. I play the guitar. I blow trumpet. That's at 2006. I started blowing trumpet, but I stopped for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me just hype myself. I sing too, bro. Don't take me.
Nice. All right, so when I was in the university, I used to think it was music I was going to do because I was very good.
Do you produce?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
But I play the drums very well. So then I was the most popular like drummer in my whole school, like in my school. So I used to, play at different points. At some point I played at the redemption camp. Like I used to play like big, man. So eventually it was one of these days. We had just finished playing in one church in Lagos. I served in Lagos. So we had just finished playing, and one of the instrumentalists, right, musicians, right. So we went into the we called it the rehearsal room, right. So we went inside there, and the guy was just saying things. The guy was just saying things about forex. Forex is hard. That there's this business that rich people used to do in Lekki. That those guys will just open their laptops and they are just reading charts. And like, remember I told you, anything you tell me not to do, is what
That's
I'll go
where
and
you're
do.
going.
I didn't have any knowledge. All through my university days, I didn't even know what forex was. I did not know anything. It was digital marketing at the time. Then this guy just said it's like, that thing is very hard. This one, that one. He just said all those things. So it was that day I just went back home after the whole thing. I didn't see anything in that meeting. I didn't see anything. I went back home. I just typed what is forex, and I was just seeing different things. So this was around February 2019. So then I was almost done with my NYC because I finished in March.
Yeah.
So I had 75,000 naira saved up, from my NYC allowance and all of that. That was everything I had.
That's when they were still paying
19.8, yes. So I had 75,000. That was everything I saved from my NYC days. So as it happened, my friend reached out, told me to, coincidentally, my friend reached out at that same time. A friend of mine, my best friend in secondary school, reached out and said he was starting something. He said something about the same forex.
Oh.
Do you understand? So he said something about the same forex. I was like, okay, I think this thing adding up at this thing happening at this time. Out of the 75,000, I gave him 50,000 naira. I did not even know what I was going to do next. I paid 18,000 naira. Then dollars was 360 to a naira. I can remember. So I paid 18,000 naira to one forex coach at the time because I just wanted to know what forex was. So I paid the guy 50,000. Remember, I gave the guy 18,000. What was left of what I took back to Ibadan, where my parents were staying at the time. Where they are staying actually. So yeah, that's how forex. That's how I started forex, basically.
I was enjoying your story. I feel like you got more to tell us.
Well, there's a whole lot, but I'm just taking it like...
All right, interesting. You're just trying to cut it. Okay, fine. So now you've given us a background of that, of you growing up. Let's also have an idea of you venturing into the forex because you're already telling the story and you cut it.
Yeah.
So I want to now know, how did you get your first funding?
Okay.
Or let me even start from the education part.
Okay.
How you things you were exposed to as per educational materials and then your funding. Tell us about that.
All right. So, like I said earlier, funding for me was never an issue. Not like I was from a rich background, but funding for me was never an issue because there was something my parents taught me which worked for me. And it was how that relationships are very, very vital. So it was me leveraging on my parents' relationships to get the major funding I had at the beginning. So like I said, I finished, NYSC and, what was expected of me was to, go out and look for a job and all of that. Yeah. And it was hard to convince my parents at the time. I remember telling my parents at the time. Then, when I finished school, like I said, I did very well in school, and my parents wanted me to, go the academic route. And I told them, I just asked a simple question. I asked my mom. I said, "Have you heard Dangote's name? Is there any title or is there any doctor or anything?" I said, "I don't want to do all those things. I want to do business." What business? I did not know, but I know I wanted to do business. So my mom was disappointed. My parents were very, very, mad at me. Then for 3 months, that's from March up until July, I was always on my laptop. The basic things in forex that people just, the way information is flying, I don't think it was like that. I don't want to come off as, all these big Instagram names and all of that. Yeah. But I learned things like margin leverage for 2 years. I didn't know anything in forex. I just knew that there was something called forex. I did not know so much about forex. So from 2019 up until 2020, 2021, I was within the value chain. I was there, but I wasn't participating actively. Do you understand? I was just earning from forex. Yes. So I started then. So then I'd already started everything. March up until July, I was doing my, courses and all of that. But it was not making sense again to my parents at some point. So my parents came to meet me and it was around June, ending of June. So my dad came to meet me in the room because interestingly, my brother and I finished school together. We went to school together and we finished school at the same time. So my brother was already working, he was doing his shoemaking business at the time. So he had already started making shoes. He was bringing money home. But me, I wasn't doing anything. This is 3 months after NYSC. And I was just opening laptop and closing. There was nothing I was doing to...
Wow.
Do you understand? Responsibilities were setting in at the time. And I had siblings. I'm the second out of 5 children. Do you understand?
You're a man now, so you need to start.
So I needed to, my dad just came to meet me. Guy, Oga, this laptop, it's as if you'd have to close it and go and dust your certificate and look for an actual job and, start something. So it wasn't like I was... done or something. So my first interview was my first job, and I worked as a data analyst with OP. Yeah,
Interesting.
so I worked with, that was when OP just launched.
Yeah.
So I worked with them. I went for the interview. I got the job, and then I started coming. So I started working. So it wasn't like I left forex. What happened at the time was, like I said, quite a number of things that I started learning. Then I started, experiencing it I started experiencing many of the things I'd learned over the time. So at work, I noticed at the time that the 9 to 5 thing was not for me. So I was always having queries. I would leave my. I was always.
That's the one boy that likes going the other way.
So the thing is, let me give you the gist. So my mates would be working. I always had my,
headphones,
earpods. I don't think they were AirPods at the time. Maybe earpiece or something. Yeah. So I'll just have it plugged in. I'll be watching forex videos while I'm at work. So I'm supposed to be do my work, but I was always, searching, doing things on forex. I was just always looking out. Like I said at the time, I learned like those basic things for a long period of time. But I did not know at the time that people were watching. I did not know.
Observing you.
People were observing me. I did not know at the time. So OP at the time, we used to close by 5:30. From 5:30 up until 8 p.m., I would be there watching videos. So I would watch videos. Interestingly, my brother and myself too worked at the same place.
Wow.
So he would go home, but me, I was still at work. I don't know if you understand.
I understand, yeah.
It wasn't making sense to my parents. So they were asking me at some point, what was I always doing at home? But like I said, the forex thing, it's hard to explain to your parents that what is making you money is one laptop. Do you understand? So I couldn't explain to them it's online that the money, do you understand?
Down, red and
so
green.
yeah, so I couldn't tell them that they were already frustrated with the whole 3 months thing, that money was not coming. I was just opening my laptop and closing it. So then I now started work again. Where I now had issues with my parents was where all my salary, everything, I would use it to buy courses. I was just buying courses.
How much were you paid then?
I was paid 100 and the basic salary was about 90-something thousand naira.
Okay.
Then overtime, I used to work overtime on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays. Yes, too. So everything was about 100 plus, about close to 150. I can't remember, but about close to 150 at the time. Yeah. So then I would, check for courses online. I bought any course that was available at the time, so I'll just buy. But like I said, where I said people were watching, it was easy to convince people to join what I was doing.
Hold on.
Okay,
People
so let me tell you.
Okay, go on.
It was easy to convince people to join what I was doing, because people saw what I was paying attention to. I wasn't paying attention. I was doing my work.
Yeah.
Right. But, the way the 9 to 5 thing works, as much as you are not working, they just want you to be physically active at work, even when you're not doing anything related to work. So I had already finished everything. I had already finished my Excel, whatever thing I was supposed to do. So I'll leave my work and go and maybe sleep. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be in that place. But that was where I used to have my queries from and all of that.
Whoa.
So they just wanted me to be there. But me, I was watching my forex videos, doing all those things. I had not even started earning well from forex. But like I said, my parents taught me something about relationships. So there was this strategy I deployed at the time. I needed to be close to some people in the forex space, and very, very big people in the forex space. So what I would do is, I'll convince 2 of my friends. I'll tell them I want to buy a course, but when I'm done learning this course, I'll teach you. But give me money. I want to buy the course in my name so the person can know me for me.
Hold up. Take it back again.
So I would buy a course. I would buy a course.
Yeah.
But it won't be in your name. So give me money. I want to use that money to buy the course, but it has to be in my own name. When I'm done, I'll teach you. I'll even give you access to the course. Don't worry. So like I said, people were watching. They saw what I was paying attention to, what I was devoting my time, what I was using my whole time for. This is what I loved the forex idea. I just loved forex. I had not started participating in it actively, but I loved the idea. Yes. So then I saw some people I wanted to be close to at all costs. So I'm sorry, I would have to mention him.
No, it's okay.
Yes, Ejimi.
Ejimi,
that's his name. So I saw him online. I wanted to be close to him at all costs. I did not know how it was going to happen, but I wanted to be close to him at all costs. So I would chat to him. He won't respond and all of that. But I gave myself a target. I said, everything this man is selling, I must buy. So he started Sunshine Scalping. I bought. So I went to meet friends. I want to buy a course from a very big person, something. I just told them stuff. But you would allow me buy this course in my name.
It's how you keep saying my name for me.
Do you understand? Like, because I wanted to be close to him. Do you
So
understand?
and they get to agree with
They
you.
would agree, yes. So I got my first course, I got my second course, I got my third course. The first course was 20,000 naira. The second course was about 100,000 naira. So when I saw this strategy was not working at some point, I needed to buy some other courses. So this is what I did. I started like a normal thrift contribution among the other people. So I tell them, I want to be the first to collect.
This man, you're not business
You
man.
understand? So I'll use the whole money to buy my course.
Wow.
I wasn't making money actively, like I said. But this is what happened along the line. That my best friend that I said, started the whole idea, started paying me returns and all of that. I was in a way like convinced that, okay, this thing actually works.
No, it was making profit.
He was making profits, yeah. He was giving me money. So then he was giving me about 10,000 naira per month. So it was not hard to convince people. So this was what was happening. So I just made sure I was at the forefront of the whole thing. So I told all my friends, me and my best friend are starting something, or you guys might want to join and all of that. So they gave me their money. I told you, give me the money. You guys cannot invest you will not give him the money. You will give me the money. So they'll give me the money. I'll tell my best friend, he would, pay them their returns. I'll take my own course.
You're a sweet talker, man.
So I'll take my
Crazy.
course, give them their own, take my cut. So when I started earning as much as what I was earning from OP, I left OP 28th of January 2020. So then I was earning about 200,000 monthly from my side also then. Like I'd already started. And my OP at the time had like 2-3 branches in Ibadan. So I was working OP Ibadan. So I, got people's money. Before I knew, people from other branches were already reaching out to me. There's this Hephzibah that is, doing business. When I saw the business was doing well to an extent, I was earning the same amount, maybe a little bit above my salary. So I told my dad, I just walked up to my dad that day. It was on a Tuesday. So I told him, I was like, Dad, please, I think I'm already doing some money is coming from this forex thing, right? I think I want to be on my own now. I don't want to. I didn't have a clear picture of what the future was like. But because I was just earning something that was enough, that was more than my salary, I didn't have to put in so much work and all of that. So I told my dad. My dad asked me a question. So I told him, I said, please, I don't feel comfortable with this 9 to 5 thing. On a Tuesday, he was driving me back home from work. So then he told me, he was like, okay, is it that forex thing you want to do? I said, yes. He said, no problem. So normally in the 9 to 5 thing, they said you have to give a 2-week notice or something. I resigned the next day.
Wow.
So I went back to work. I told them I was not coming again. They thought I was joking. Like I said, I did not know. I was even scared that, people would now be more scared to give me money because now I'm no more in their, environment. Like, how would this business continue? Everything I had in my portfolio at the time that I was managing for people at the time was about 2-point-something million naira.
Wait, in that short period?
In that place, yes, people were just giving me money. So it was about 2-point-something million naira at the time. So within that month and the next month, the money went from 2 million to about 28 million naira. People trusted me more when I was not there.
Wait, hold up. 2 million naira.
Yes.
That you manage in your portfolio.
January 28th, 2020.
Were you giving them returns?
I was giving them returns, but I'd already taken my own from, I told you, they could not go to register under I told them, you can't go and register under my best friend. I'm the one that will register you, but give me the money. Do you get? So I'll take my own cuts, then give them their own. Do you understand? So that's how I was doing it. So I was scared, like I said, when I was about leaving OP. So I didn't know, because I thought that, people would take their money back since I was not in the environment with them. Anymore, yeah. But like I said, people watch how, things you pay attention to. Yeah. So they trusted me more when I was not there. So in my own head, I thought people would not trust me. But in their own head, they were like, for this guy to have been doing forex when he was here, this guy would go and pay more attention to this thing. So it's enough reason for us to even trust him more.
Even more.
Do you get? So the money went from 2 million naira to about 28 million in just a month.
Wow.
Do you understand? So I went from managing about. So when I saw that the money had already increased that much, I just said, you know what? I'm not going back to this thing again. Do you get? So that's how it started. So my major means of funding. So, when forex traders say things like, in my own time, right, then I could not, beginning days when I started learning forex, I could not relate to the basic things that forex traders were talking about. So when you say you hit stop loss and maybe they took $5 and all, I was exposed to people's money at a very young age. So at my beginning stage, I was already losing $5,000. Like, I don't know. Do you understand? Whoa. I was just experimenting with people's money that was with me.
Crazy.
I was funding accounts. I was losing money, but it didn't mean anything to me. So let me even give you a background story. So yeah, I remember speaking to my dad then that I wanted to, resign. That was when I had already started making, I was making like up to the amount I was making from forex. So within that month, I resigned on the 28th of January 2020, like I said.
Yeah.
So within that month and February, the money went from 2 million thereabout to about 28 million naira. So it was at this point I knew that, okay, if I could manage this business well, like I said, on my own end, the way I was thinking, it was like maybe if I left that, workplace, people were not going to trust me.
Yeah.
But because people saw what I was focusing on, and again, there was consistency, like my words and my actions and all of that, I would buy the course, give them to study. Me, I just wanted to buy in my name so I could maintain the relationship with whoever was selling the course. So yeah, that's how I did it. So from there, I saw that there was actually a thing. Like I said, I had not started earning from forex actively. I was not participating in the market, but I was just in the value, like I was earning one
You
way
were
or
in
the
the
other. I was in the business of forex. Yes, I was
Forex,
making money from it. So at this point, I now started seeing reasons to, want to learn forex for
Properly,
Yes,
yeah.
properly. So it was hard for me, majorly because, there are two perspectives now. Like there's the perspective of someone that is learning forex from a place of hunger. And someone that is learning forex from a place of, a bit of comfort. So there was comfort in a way. I was earning what the average forex traders my age at the time were earning. So it was hard for me in a way to want to sit down and, use 14 hours, 15 hours like I used to hear in those stories.
Learn.
It was hard for me. So I remember one very funny scenario. The person that was teaching me forex at the time. So what happened was I paid Ejimi, that was my mentor.
Yeah,
He's my mentor rather. So I paid him to, teach me. But he's more into sentiments and the likes. But he told one of his mentees, that's Sammy Math, to teach me structure, that's market structure,
Market
like
structure.
one-on-one. So it was a one-on-one class, not a general class. So
How much did you pay him?
well, I would want to give that.
Oh, you want to keep that?
But
Okay,
it's
that's
in
fine.
like-
That's fine. Yeah.
Yes, like thousands of dollars. I'll put it that
Wow.
way. Yeah, thousands
Okay.
of dollars. Yes, I paid at the time. So I remember what happened. So what happened then at the time was even that I was trying to reach him online, but he was inaccessible and all of that. And yeah, I really needed to be close to him at all costs. So I remember that day I just reached out. I was like, sir, what does it cost to be your actual mentee? I want to be.
Like one-on-one.
Yes, one-on-one. I want you to know me by my name. I don't want to be one of your
Amongst
students.
the rest.
Because I've tried everything. I told people to pay me money and it was not working. Do you understand? I wanted.
Yeah.
So he mentioned the amount majorly because maybe he was trying to scare me. Do you
And you were
understand? Because I was on his neck, I was always in his DMs, disturbing him. And there was a point he even told me not to call him, but I could send messages. But I wanted to know him, right?
But what really stood out? Sorry, you continue.
Okay.
But what stood out about this particular mentor?
So what stood out was when I was in OPE, right? I was listening to a message. Apostle Selman now. So I was listening to a message and he said it in that video that Ejimi has been anointed for the financial space.
Wow.
So at that point, I didn't even know who he was at the time. I did not know who he was. I just wanted to be close to that Ejimi. So I was, like I said, I was always listening to things when I was at work. I just knew that I didn't want to be where people were. Do you understand? Like I just wanted to be on my own. So then I just listened to that message. It was at that point I was like, who is this man? Do you get? So it shocked him how I got his number. Whenever I want to get a thing, I would get it done.
Wow.
So I went online, went far back. This was around 2020. I went as far back as 2006, 2005 to look for his beginner videos.
Interesting.
So I saw the number that was
there
on one of his flyers. Call this number. So I called the number. He was shocked that I was able to get across to him. So it was like, I said, hello, sir. Something. So he said, who is this? I said, I don't know if I'm talking to so that's how I got. So then I was always, pestering him, reaching out to him, but it wasn't giving me the kind of,
attention you
and I
needed.
did not want to limit myself by just, asking just forex related questions. Like I said, the prophecy was Ejimi is anointed for the financial space.
That's what the pastor
That's what he said about him. Yes. So I didn't want to limit myself to just forex. I wanted him to mentor me. Do you understand? So that's why I reached out at the time. So I just wanted to be close. So I asked him at the time, I said, okay, how much does it cost to be your mentee? So because of how I was disturbing and all of that, he just told me, so amount of money, you have to pay this amount. So he told me on Friday, I got the money. Guess how I got the money?
The same strategy, right?
I'm telling you. I walked up to one CEO. I won't mention his name. I told him, I said, sir, I know you are building a startup at the time. He was building a startup. I said, okay, you are building a startup. You would want to like expand your business one way or the other. You have guys, young guys. I will teach them what I know in forex. Guess what? I had not known so much at the time. Whoa. But by association, there are some deals you can get. Once they know you know a Jimmy, people would want to do business. So that's why I say I'm very big on relationships. So once people know you know this person, even sometimes you don't even merit the kind, but they just want to do business with you, and that's how it was. So I was like, I just did a business with a Jimmy. I just mentioned his name. This person always wanted to meet a Jimmy. I said, you give me this so amount of money, but I'll pay it in my name.
Wow.
So I wasn't the one that paid.
I like this paying your name thing. It's a strategy that, I mean, it's really interesting. But the most interesting part of it is having to convince someone that you have to, that you're paying in your name for them.
Yeah, I get you.
So all you have to do is now give them the courses, which they don't have access to the mentor.
Yes. So I wasn't even giving the courses. I was teaching what I knew, because one of the agreements you want to give, like with the person that is teaching you, you don't want to like just give out the intellectual property, like this thing.
Why didn't they go somebody like me, somebody like me, I would go.
So what I'll tell you is, I already have a working relationship with this person. There's more that I can get, but I'm trying to strengthen my relationship with that person. I would need your resources to do this thing. So please just help me pay this amount. I don't mind. I don't know if you understand. I'll come off as one that already has a relationship. And in the actual sense, I'm not lying, because I've built some sort of relationship. Right. But you are starting from the scratch. So the kind of attention the person will pay to me is not yours. So please help me. I'm trying to build my brand. I want to be close to this person. I already have some, but I won't tell you all this background story. I'll come off as I already know the person, but I want to strengthen my relationship. And if I give this person this money, do you understand? And it was me doing the exact thing. Yeah. So I called him on Monday. I said, the money is ready. I told him to send his account number. So the person transferred the money to me. I paid in my name.
Wow.
Do you understand? So that's how I was able to get that. But I don't want to digress.
I'm sorry, and you still had to
teach the person. Yes, I did though. I will do that.
Nice.
Do you understand? So at the time, there was something, right? Because I was now involved in the business, I wanted to increase my earning capacity. Like I wanted to increase how much was coming to me. Yeah. So I started studying forex from a marketer's perspective, not from a trader.
I see. In fact, because you have the sweet mouth.
Yes.
So, I mean,
to
banks
get people
looking for you because,
yes.
I mean,
do you
you can bring a lot of money to a particular bank.
I'll tell people things about the market, even things that some people did not know. I'll just say things, sir, this is how the market is moving. I did not know anything. I was in trading. But I needed to increase my portfolio because the more money I had, the more money, would come to me at the end of the day. So I was just doing all of that, just studying the market from, I didn't have time for charts. I wasn't studying charts. GBP/USD is on. No, I don't want.
You're literally doing the marketing aspect.
Okay, the US government is doing this, so by now it should strengthen the forex market and all of that. And Trump was in power then.
Hey man, so the understanding you had, for financial market helped you.
It helped. It helped build my business. It really helped. So I knew so much. Interestingly, do you know what? Then people were offering to pay me as much as $500,000 naira rather to do my course. People wanted to pay me to teach them forex.
Wow.
I promise you. But I had not started trading. So in my deals, I'll tell, like, I'm going to meet a businessman. Then I was going to companies like NNPC, meeting their top managers. I was meeting, I don't know, I'm not meant to mention names. I was sitting with their managers.
Talking about forex.
Talking about forex, yes. I was so confident. I knew so much.
What are we talking about? Is it the impact?
But I wasn't trading.
No, what are we talking about, man?
So they will ask me things like, oh, okay, what do you do? I was saying, I trade forex and all of that. And they are saying, oh, this business. And I'm talking about risk management. Oh, okay. I knew so much. Like I was just talking about things, but not the charts. Don't tell me, I won't. Again, if you want to do business, I hope you know that in forex, right? The real money is not in the charts.
True.
You get people that are making money are not talking strategies, and that's why I don't talk about strategies as much. People that are making money off the charts. Yes, there's a part of knowledge that you have to focus on, but you won't see me doing higher low, MT4 and all of those things. I wasn't doing all of that. I was just studying markets. I was studying enough to talk to the next person and seem like I know so much about the markets that you would even want to give me your money. So that's how it was for me. There was hardly any deal I didn't strike. Like anybody I talked to, you would, even if you don't want to give me, you would give me. I was always losing at the time. And this was, like I said, in my beginning days, I was already used to 10 lots, 20 lots. People were trusting me with as much as $50,000, $60,000. These were the days of, I don't know, Louis Jr. Shakwani, Sandy Leshezi, these South African guys, DJ Coach and the likes. Like they would just join. Yes, all these guys. I was buying their courses. So what I was just doing is, I just wanted to know the market from everybody's perspective. Like I just wanted to know what this person was saying, so I could use it in my next this thing. So then when I paid, Pastor Jimmy to do the course, he, like I said, delegated, the work to Sammy Math to teach me. So I was on serious. When it came to, like I said, Sammy Math was now teaching me market structure. I didn't have the time.
Ready for market structure.
So in the class, he will be teaching, I'll be eating. So the first question I asked him at the time, I remember very well. So he was teaching, and I saw that annoyance at some point. He was annoyed with the way I was. I wasn't receptive. I wasn't ready for whatever I think Tiz was saying. So I asked him, sir, please, how much have you made in like the last, since you started trading forex? That's what I asked him in the question in the class. He said in 2 years, but this is not now. I'm saying as at then.
I understand.
Yes, he said in 2 years he had made 13 million naira.
And it's so crazy because this amount of money is what
I was making every Monday.
And you'll be like, why the heck am I even here?
So it was hard to convince me to come and trade.
To do what he's doing.
But me, I could sell you. I would even, I don't talk much about it. But yeah, so that's how it was. So when he told me he was earning that amount, it didn't make sense.
Was it a live class or
it was a live class? Yes, Zoom, not Zoom class.
Zoom.
No, not one-on-one or like virtual. Yes, but it was in a Zoom class. I was in the car eating. Do you understand? So it was just saying market structure. This one, and I didn't have time for all of it. I just wanted to know where the money was and all of that. So he just told me as at then, like I said, 13 million. So I didn't tell him that. So I remember that I'm very sure he was always going to report to me that I was unserious and all of that. I did not know that at some point I was going to need to like sit down and learn forex. So that's how he continued. I just, continued expanding my business at the time. I just knew there was a future in it. Within months, I had already, started increasing my portfolio. I didn't even know how much I was managing. I just knew how much was coming to me at the end of the day. But I knew I was making like some good amount of money. I was making like so much money. And then I was about 23, 24 years old. I would say that at the time I was going up, but I wasn't growing up. Do you understand? I was just concerned. I didn't know so much about business. If I had access to some kinds of funds now, I wouldn't make the kind of mistakes I made at the time. So mistakes like not knowing how money was being made. As much as money was coming to me and I was paying my investors, I was good. If you own ₦1 billion in any business in Nigeria today, maybe not any business, but maybe in major startups in Nigeria today, you'll be among their shareholders. You would have a say in how the business is being run. But I didn't know all these things. I was not even among me. My own was just money. Again, I was young, right? So, yes. So it was at this point that, I started having issues. This was December 8th, 2020. Issues started setting in at the time. And one day I just discovered that, money wasn't coming in again. My best friend at the time lost his business. But what happened was, because people had already built trust, like trust had already been built over time, a lot of people had trusted me with their money. And I'd already sold the Forex idea to a number of people. Then I was just studying Forex to, just expand my knowledge. Not like I really wanted to be in the forefront. And in all honesty, it's still what I preach till today, but don't let me digress yet. Over time, this was like about 1 year plus or close to 2 years in, I'd already built my portfolio to about, and this was within months, right? Going from 100 million to about over 700 million naira, right? Was within months, just months. So I had already built my portfolio to about 700 million naira, which was about $1.2 million at the time.
At the time,
because of the exchange rate.
$1.2 million
dollars.
Dollars,
yes, at the time. But currently it's about $300,000.
$1.2 million
at the time.
At the time. I mean, now should be worth over
close to 2 billion naira.
billion
Yes.
naira.
So currently it's about 700 million naira. Currently is about maybe $350,000.
Wow. So imagine you didn't even trade with that money and you just kept it.
I just kept it.
Till
It would have been a
2024.
whole lot. Yeah. So at this point I was down, but I wasn't down for too long, right? I remember then when I was starting in business and all of that, like people used to ask me if I was prepared for the worst things that was going to happen with me rather. And I thought I was prepared. Then I was always saying it, the highest that will happen is, being arrested and all of that. Do you just say things sometimes and you discover when those things happen that you're not actually prepared for them. So I thought I was prepared until it now hit me. Like December 7, 2020, I had millions of naira. Because me, on my own end, I was always reinvesting my own money. I wasn't even collecting as much. I was reinvesting. So it was hard to... So what happened was before I got to know that there was an issue, my friend was always telling me that everything was fine. He didn't tell me something was wrong. So I was always relaying this information to all the investors that trusted me. And imagine all of a sudden you just come back and tell them something has happened. The guys absconded. So it would look like maybe I was a party, like we were both planning his running away and all of that. But it wasn't like that. I was equally affected. I was as affected as every other person that trusted me with money. But it was hard to, let people know. So people were agitated at the time. It was crazy. It was a very, very, very terrible phase in my life. So I remember for over 2-3 months, at the first instance, when things like that happen to you, you would think that, tomorrow, somebody will just come and give you that amount of money. Like you would think that in no time you will come out of it. Before you start knowing, like 2 months are going, 3 months are going, 4 months are going, nobody's coming to save you if you don't like stand up and save yourself. So that's how I continued. And eventually, that was when I knew that my parents' house was not far. I knew my house was not even far. If you're owing people, they will find your house one way or the other. As much as I was an inside person, I didn't used to go out. I didn't used to upload on social media and stuff. People found me. I was arrested. I had issues, EFCC issues and all of that.
Arrested?
Yeah, I was arrested. I had EFCC issues. It was, everything was just playing in my head. How EFCC people will come with card and do we are from the way you used to watch it in
the
movies.
They came to your house.
It happened to me.
They came to your house.
Live and direct.
And they picked you up.
They picked me up. But me, like I said, I don't know if it's maybe lack of emotional intelligence. I don't know how to dwell in
the emotions
for too long. Yes. Do you know that when EFCC picked me up, immediately I entered their car, I was already discussing forex.
With them?
Yes. In all honesty. I was already discussing forex with them. I didn't think that anything was going to happen to me. Like I had not pictured that I was going to be in their cell. It was doing me like maybe I'll get there and they will bring me out one way or the other. Like maybe somebody will just come. Somebody just come. So immediately I entered their car, they presented that stuff to me. I went back. I just woken up. I just went to call my dad. I called my dad. Oh, they've come to pick me up. I called my lawyer too.
What did your dad say?
My dad said he was going to meet me. Like I was not staying in his house at the moment, so at the time rather. So he came to meet me at their office, and that's how it happened. So I was there. I did not know when reality started dawning on me was when my lawyer patted my back and said, "You will spend some days." My lawyer,
he's like, bro. Hold up. We know you're dealing with money, but bro, you're gonna spend some days
he
in
told
here.
me to my face. Like, so me, I thought, being in the cell was a big deal until I got to EFCC. Like, so me, like I said, when I was in their car, I was discussing crypto, forex. I was just talking with them. I was very free with guns.
The people that are coming to capture.
Like they had guns and all of those things.
Did they have a warrant? I mean,
they showed me.
What was
EFCC is not like the police now.
What was the basis of the arrest?
When I got to EFCC's custody, they had already sent a mail to SEC. They had already sent a message to CBN. They had already sent a message to one other body. And they asked if I was, am I permitted to carry out financial services? Collect people's
Security
money.
and Exchange.
Yes. SEC, CBN. So I saw it. It wasn't like... And my case had already been with CBN, with EFCC, like months before I got there. EFCC works with facts, not they won't just pick you like for the sake of picking you. Like there's already some information about you. So I saw the letters. They already chatted SEC, and I saw the replies that no, I was not authorized to carry out any financial service or whatever. So my bank statements was printed from the first day I opened the account to that day.
Oh my God.
Yes, I saw everything. So I had to defend They started opening things up for me and all of that. So I thought it was a big deal. Like being arrested was a big deal until I got inside the cell, and you know all those funny EFCC people now, all those old women bring out their phones and they put it on your face. Youth of nowadays, you guys should use this guy as an example.
Oh my, crazy.
That was where I wasn't having it anymore. Like I said, I knew forex. I knew what forex was. I knew the risk involved. So I just, on my day, I just got angry. I started talking back at them. I was like, no, I'm not a thief. I told them to their face. Like, so I got so angry that those guys, you know, there's a way they want to make you feel like you are going to, your life has finished and all of that. They told me, do you know why you're here? I said, yes. Do you know there's no day you're going to come out? I said, yes, I'm okay and I'm prepared for it. I don't have any issues. And in all sincerity, I was even the one, you know, I was the one even advising my parents to not go on, because I know how my parents can be. They'll go and take money to bring me out of EFCC and all of that. I told them, please, I'm okay. And immediately I got inside the EFCC cell, I slept. I didn't worry.
Wow, bro, it's like you were prepared for this.
So that's the thing. Like, I did not know. But when it happened to me, there was no time to start thinking about what happened and all of that. I didn't sit down and start asking God, why is this thing happening in my life? I slept. And when I woke up, I started talking to the guys in my cell. Like, we're 17 in my cell. I was just meeting everybody, talking to them. What brought you and all of that. That was how my experience. I didn't have any bad experience, because it was like a boys' hostel to me.
Oh.
Do you get? So, do you understand? So that's how it was. There was that phase. Then when I came out of EFCC cell, you know, I used 7 days. So
you stayed there for 7 days?
For 7 days, yes. Eventually, thank God, I was able to come out.
Who bailed your dad?
My dad, yes.
Bailed you, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
on what
some
grounds?
very amazing people. So, well, it's something I don't talk about as much, but when I saw the bail condition, I was wowed. Like I said, relationships have always worked for me one way or the other. I saw the bail condition was, if I should run away, whoever is standing in for me would pay double of the amount I owe. Wow. There was no family member that came. The people that came, and I talk about them like till tomorrow, my best friend, she's one, and she called her parents to stand in for me.
She called her
parents. She was not in Nigeria, yes. She called her parents to stand in for me.
Where do you find this kind of friends on
So
earth,
that's why I said
man?
relationships have always worked for me. The second person that stood in for me was my mom's friend. He's
So
a
you had
pastor.
2 guarantors?
Yes, it had to be 2. And this was what happened. While I was in cell, there was a lawyer that came to spend jail time with us. The lawyer stood in for somebody.
Wait, hold up. Like, the law caught up with the lawyer, man.
I'm serious. Stood in for somebody. So the way it works, in EFCC's gates, there are people, there are guarantors that stand by their gates. So their work is to be your guarantor, but you pay them. So the bail condition is, if you run away, they will either detain you.
Is this something legal?
It's a hustle.
allowed?
I don't know. I don't know about that. But I have someone guarantor was inside still with us because he just stood in for somebody. Whoa. And the person ran away. So that's what happened. So imagine seeing all of this and you see people and you are reading your bail condition, like, and somebody could stand there for you.
Did you pay? How much did you pay to?
How much did I didn't pay.
It was
so that one is it's another story entirely. But see, my coming out of EFCC was a big miracle. My days in EFCC, their staff would always come and remind me that I'm not going to come out there like anytime soon. And I told them yes, I was ready. I didn't feel any type of way. I was just okay, really. So one thing I know I've learned in my life is contentment, like how to live with so much and how to live with little. So at that point in my life, I didn't think that anything was happening to my life. I didn't even know what I was going to do next. But one thing that was on my mind was, if I did not plan that I was going to be handling 700 million just about 2 years after leaving school, then who am I to like start planning what would happen 10 years from now? I don't know if you understand. I didn't plan it. The highest, maybe I have my diary. The highest I planned I was going to earn monthly in 5 years, or as a married man, was maybe ₦1 million monthly. And at the age of 22, 23, I was earning over 50 million naira per month. So I didn't at any point think. So what was ringing in my head was, if I didn't plan this, then who am I to now start planning like what is going to happen? So I didn't have any time to start thinking about regrets or whatever it is and all of that.
Regrets.
So there was no regrets. Yeah. And again, I was in my journey, like I was just playing out a script. I didn't know what it was, right? So this was EFCC phase. When I came out of EFCC, I was down back to nothing. There was nothing really. I had nothing. My car, everything a lot of things had already gone. And, people were still, reaching out. It's people's money. Again, you want to be... Again, please, I would want to give a disclaimer. I'm still handling the situation. It's not like I'm out of it completely. Yes. So, because I wouldn't want to... people are always so quick to talk about success stories.
Yeah, right.
That they don't want to... I identify as... So, one thing I'm doing with my life currently is identifying with every forex trader struggle. There's really nothing you've thought about that you are going through, have not gone through. So I'm just that person that people should see that this person has. You don't even owe as much as 1 million naira. You think life has ended.
Do you know that some people that would have committed suicide and things as crazy
One
as
of my
that.
friends drank sniper on top, how much? 70 million naira. I told him, I said, if I was owing this amount of money, I'll be in church giving testimony. He drank sniper, but he didn't die, all thanks to God.
Thank God, man.
He didn't die, he drank sniper. He was rushed to the hospital because of 70 million naira. That was 10% of what I was owing. And mind you, I don't think I've talked about this. 700 million was just a bit. I've not even talked about some parts of my story. It was just one angle. There are some amounts I've lost that I've not even spoken about yet.
Wow.
Right? And I've not spoken about it just for the sake of... I'll talk about it maybe not now, but maybe later, Sha. Yeah, within the course of this conversation. Yeah, but so... That's how that one happened, right? It was at this phase that I knew that the only thing I had was... myself, people that trusted in me. I went to meet my best friend's dad when I came out of, EFCC custody. And the first thing he told me, he said the reason why he stood was because beyond that, he believed in my person.
Wow.
Do you understand? With all those things, I did not even give him any money or anything, but he said he just believed in me. So this thing made me see relationships from another angle entirely.
And you're blessed with good relationships.
I won't lie. So there was that phase. As God would have it, I called my parents. There was this day I was going to the gym. So to start my life again, people were still calling me, reaching out to me and stuff with their money, this, that, and all of that. Then I called my parents that day. I told them all these things I just said. You know how parents can be. When things were going on smoothly, they were, but thank God my parents stood by me. It was a very trying time. So my parents called me and said, hey, I told my parents, I said, I want to pay that money, that whole money. That I know I didn't run away with it, but I want to pay it. My mom shouted, where do you want to see that? I wanted to see Yoruba, please.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
Where are you going to see that money? This one. So I asked my mom a question. I said, if anybody told you I was going to be managing this money at this time in my life, would you believe? Years ago, when you were telling me to go and study in Poland, it was Poland my daddy was pushing for at the time. I said, no. So if these things were not planned, then how would you say that, okay, you don't know how this money is going to come out? Did I even plan that money was going to pass through my hands? No. So I told them, please, let me just do my thing. Let me do my thing. Like, I want to pay that money. How? I did not know. Which business I wanted to venture into, I did not know. But I now sat down and thought about things. I can't venture into oil now because there's some level of, certifications and the likes. I can't venture into all those big businesses. What would I do that would give me that kind of money or expose me to that kind of... And sitting back to think about my journey, that was when learning forex now came into the picture. So this was no more seeing forex from a marketer's perspective, but there was still that sense in my head. So eventually, I didn't start recording videos or anything, right? I was just in one meeting one day.
Yeah.
So this was like 2 months after. So this period, I stopped going to church. Like nothing was making sense at the time. So I went for a meeting. It was a church program. I just met this person. I would want to keep that anonymous.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then I was not comfortable telling people things about myself. I was just always on my own. But I was just go to church, play instruments, come back and all of that. And I met this person and he told me, he said, we were just discussing. And next thing I told him, I was like, a lot is happening in my life. I've lost my business rather. A lot of things are going bad. And he told me, he was like, you know what? I want to introduce you to my billionaire friends. That's what he told me. Interestingly, he told me in that conversation, he was like, there's somebody that is owing not up to 10% of what you owe that came to meet me last week, Sunday, that I just told him to go. I didn't have any reason, but there's something about you. This person did not know me.
Wow.
He didn't know me so much. But this is the thing. I wasn't coming from a perspective. I was not in a hurry to come out of it. And that's why also I'm not in a hurry to, want to paint a success or grace to grace scenario story, or say I've already overcome the whole thing. I don't want to start picturing when it's not yet time. When it's time, I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So I just knew that I had that mindset that this thing had to be sorted. So I reached out. So he told me I was going to introduce me to his friend. I did not know who I was going to meet. Then I just went. The next week, he told me to book the next ride to Lagos. So I went to Lagos, met this person. It was supposed to be a very quick meeting. So this person just came to meet me, told me he had a meeting. I was just like, okay, he told me, so tell me what's happening. I said, so I'm here. I'm not here for money. I'm just here to know how you, because this person had the same issue at some point in his life. How did you come out of it? So when the conversation was going, the guy was like, okay, I think I'm interested in your person. You know what? Book your hotel accommodation, like stay. I was not supposed to stay. It was just supposed to be a quick discussion and I should leave. It wasn't with the intention of, interestingly, I took money along to meet this person. I took some money to go and like honor this person.
Wow.
It's not like I was going to collect money from him. So he asked me, after I had spoken for close to 1 hour. So he was just asking what my passion was. And I was telling him, I'm just involved. Success for me is not buying cars. That's why even at a young age, when people were, going for the likes of, the big names in the industry, I was tilting towards people like Ejimi. Why? Because of just a prophecy. So I knew what my idea of success was at the time. Success for me is not building conglomerates. I'm saying it now. Do I want to have businesses? Yes. But success for me is from the lens of family. I want to have a very good family. I want to have children and I want to live my life. That's why till now I'm not that active on social media. Do I have friends that are doing amazingly well? Yes. And I'm not in any way. Do you understand? So I'm just doing my thing. And that's why, it's a thing. Sorry, I have to digress a bit. Forex in these days, everybody sees financial freedom as an avenue to be reckless with your life. So you think what financial freedom is wasting and Forex in and of itself. Forex is not something that demands so much of your time. You would know this when you start trading actively.
Yeah.
Everything it takes to analyze the market is maybe 5-6 minutes. You already know what you're doing in that market. It's a waiting game. So if you think the whole of your life would be about, waiting for charts and all of that, it won't be like that. So sorry, I had to digress. So success for me at the time was from the lens of family. And who did I picture? Someone like Otedola. You would never see Otedola in a business meeting. Go and check his Instagram posts. Success for him is family. So having a nice family, the success of his children is his own success. His own success is different from someone like Tony Elumelu, who pictures success from a business. You see him in suits and all of that. So I knew what success was. And that's why I now started, I knew what I wanted out of life and all of that.
Sorry to just interject there. Have you started to achieve that level of success you're looking out for?
In all honesty, am I doing well for myself? Currently, I'm comfortable. So now let me talk a bit about for example, now I'm pursuing my master's now in finance and investment, right? It's what I am currently doing. I'm positioning myself for, the next what forex market is, what comes next in the forex market, because not everybody is going to be in the limelight. That you are not Otedola doesn't mean a business owner in Nigeria is not doing well. But in the industry now, if you're not the likes of Jeffrey Benson, you just want to be
out there.
Let's just accept the fact that not everybody will be out there. So I'm one of those people that just wants to identify,
make money
just be okay with myself. Yes. So that's why I want to be. I don't want to. And yes, so sorry. So back to the story. I went to this. I don't know if I'm permitted to talk about it.
Sure.
So he told me that he wanted to give me. He told me, he said, "What if I give you 100 million naira?" That's how the conversation ended.
Wow, this person
met. This person I went to meet. Yes, he said, "What if I give you 100 million? What would you do with it?" I declined. I said, "I don't want it." So I think that was
the conversation was, "What if I give you
100 million naira? What would you do with it?" Imagine telling somebody, because I was not expecting money from him. I did not hold back any information. I told him about all my failures. So if it was me going to do a deal, maybe a pitch deck or whatever, I would have maybe held back my failures and all of that. I didn't hold back. I told him, and he said, "If I give you 100 million, what would you do with it?" That's what he asked me. So I said, "I don't want." He told me to leave. Then the person that introduced me to him came to my room. I was like, "Are you mad? This guy wants to give you so amount of money. You turned it down." I said, "I don't want, sir." I said, as a matter of fact, I even came with something to give this person. While I was talking with this person, he called his friend to come to that same room. That one too came down to give the same question. So he told me to repeat everything I told him. I told him the same thing I'd already told him. He said, that one to ask the question, if I give you 20 million naira now, what can you do with it? I said, I don't want. I said, I would have to call my mentor first. I called my mentor. Mind you, my mentor is someone that doesn't even trade people's funds. So I told him, I said, sir, some people called me and this. He told me to go ahead with the deal. He said, but I think these people like you enough. So
Were there
Yes.
conditions for this?
No conditions.
I mean, they just give you 100
Yes,
million
to trade for them.
to trade. So what
So they
if the
sold
money?
an idea to me, like they want to build a business and they want me to manage some things for them and all of that. So he asked me a question, and that was what ended the whole discussion. He said, "You want to know how I came out of my problem?" I said, "Yes." He said, "The reason why I came out is because so and so gave me money." He said, "Do you want to hear acquire to require or whatever, or you want money?" He said, "The best way to come out of financial problems is money, not talk.
So use money to
Come out of this thing." Do you understand? So as God would have it, he told me to relocate. Then I was staying in Ibadan. He told me to leave, go to Abuja. I went to the EFCC because I wasn't running away. I told them, "Please, I'm going to Abuja if you guys want anything." So I went to Abuja, and that's how life started. Guess what? I lost all the money.
the 100.
Yes, everything.
Wow. Hold up. The 100.
I lost everything.
Million.
Yes. So this
Like, how
was
did
me
you
going
lose
from a
it?
place where, you know,
Yeah.
when I first lost the 700 million, I thought, it can never be me.
Which kind of lot is the knack, bro? I don't understand.
I was like, it can never be me. And if it's me that is handling this 700, I cannot lose it. Something. So, you know, one of the things that God does is he gives you your prayer point so that you can see how, you know,
how you handle it.
inadequate
Yeah.
you can be at some time. You don't have all the. So I thought it can. You know, what I used to think was if I start losing 1 million, I'll just close the trade and stuff. I didn't know how I lost 100 million naira plus.
Bro, I can understand because
Do you
there's sometimes like, trade is going against you and you're like, let me
Yes.
just hold a little longer. It's gonna reverse a little longer,
You get.
and your money's going. It's gonna reverse a little longer.
I lost
and it
everything.
feels like a spirit, like it's holding
I'm
you
telling
down.
you.
You can't move.
I lost everything.
It's always crazy.
I thought that was the end until this guy came. He was angry because he was not the guy is not dubious or anything. He's earning his money. So he came out and shouted. He said, "Do you know that if I want to get a forex trader to trade for me, I can walk into any bank and get a forex trader, a professional forex trader." He said, "I'm just interested in your person." He said, "But it's business. Let's continue."
After losing 100 million,
Yes.
bro, how did they take you this kind of investors?
So
I beg?
that's
Damn.
well. So one thing I learned from that was at the end of the day, there are some things you can never force. Like you can't force investors if they are not
Yeah,
coming. Not
right.
everybody has to go that route.
Yeah, true.
I'm not the person that will tell you to write the best pitch deck to get people to get money for you and all of that. I'll just tell you to do your thing. Just know that at every point in time you meet yourself, just make sure you make the best out of that
situation.
So what the thing that helped me was I wasn't coming in as a professional. Like I said, I told him everything, even plus the issues I was facing and all of that.
So
I
he
told
has
him
the
everything.
background,
He had the
understand knowledge of what you're going
so
through.
I'm not one person that would come out and say, "Oh, I don't owe people anything," or "I don't owe this person." I owe him my life up till today because I still work with him up till now.
Wow.
So 100 million was just the beginning. There are other amounts he gave to me. At some point, he told me, "You know what?" He started paying for courses for me.
Wow.
So I won't call him an investor. That's why I won't call myself a forex trader that knows how to get investors and all of that. I'll call him family. Which investor will pay for you to go and do a course? They are concerned. Investors are thinking about money. Nobody's concerned about your growth, as it were. So this guy was more concerned about my growth as a person, and he paid for course. Like he paid for me to go, introduced me to his friends. Do you understand?
Bro.
At some point, his friends, trusted me with some money and all of that. It was like that for me. So forex for me is not like every other person. I'm still at the face. I'm growing by the day. But I don't want to, because success has been painted to be some type of way, now go out of my own way to now, start doing things and all of that would now make me start. Do you understand? So that's how forex for me has been.
Sorry to interject
Yes, please.
again. Yeah. But do you think at this point you consider yourself a profitable trader?
Yes. So profitability for me I started forex full time, 2021.
Okay.
Yes. So I've been in forex industry for 5 years, but I started trading forex 2021. Remember I said it was after this whole issue I started learning forex
From
for forex.
marketing
Yes,
side
to
of
learning
forex. Yeah.
So for over and because I knew, like I said, I know what success for me is like. I don't think I would come off as like the average forex trader. I've spent close to $30,000 buying courses
What?
because I knew it was something I
Bro,
wanted to
you
do.
just mentioned
Yes, $30,000. Yes, no lies.
That's
right?
about how much now?
Well, like I said, maybe at the time I was paying, exchange rates, but that's why I just gave the
That's
dollar.
about
I could,
50
close to
something
50 million naira. But at the time when I was paying, it wasn't like that. Do you understand? That's why it was because I paid in dollars.
Yeah.
Yes. So I pay.
From Nigerian guys, you were learning from Nigerian,
Not just
or
Nigerian
white
guys, your white guys. I've paid best people. I've done deals with many people, big names in the industry, right? And I've seen, I won't say I've seen the end, but I've seen like a whole lot in the forex industry, right? So my profitability started 2023, ending of 2023.
2023.
Yes, after I had lost people's money. That was when I was losing the 100 million naira and some other amounts that I cannot even mention yet. Maybe eventually as my life progresses, I'll talk about some other things that I've not talked about now. But yes, I lost those amounts. Then profitability for me started 2023 ending.
Yeah.
So when I hear people like, Dak say he has lost over 40 prop firms, I've lost close to 100. And I'm not talking 50,000, I'm not talking 10,000, I'm not talking 5,000, I'm talking 200,000, I'm talking $300,000.
Prop firms.
Prop firms. Like I'm saying amount
I get it.
per, yes, I'm buying $100,000, $200,000 prop firms.
Accounts,
I've lost and lost and lost. The first time I passed a prop firm ever in my life was last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But have you sat back to calculate the sum total of money you've lost in your life?
Yes, I have.
Everything. Do you have a figure?
I won't talk about it. I can only talk about the 700 and the 100 I first lost. But yes, I lost some other amounts. But profitability started for me around August 2023. That was when profitability started. So now the issue I started encountering eventually was, which is maybe what I would want to end this thing with, right?
Yeah.
Is that I've come to discover in the industry that not everybody has to trade. The way some people would, benefit from the industry is by collaborating.
Wow.
You would have your fingers burnt, but some people might, because it's like saying everybody has to be a doctor because you have a passion for people's health.
Yeah.
But the best way you can be a doctor sometimes is to tell this person not to take that drink because it's going to be harmful. Have you participated in one way? Yes. So not everybody has to trade, and because the emotional baggage that comes with trading, not everybody can handle you can handle $100 drawdown, but can you handle $10,000?
Bro.
So some people's failure will be because you would want to, level up in your forex trading career, but can you handle a $10,000 drawdown? No, you can't. So success for you might be just to collaborate with somebody that is doing forex. That was one thing I learned. I started being profitable when I started collaborating. In all honesty,
That's very smart.
yes, I didn't. So started looking for traders at the beginning. It
And
was
I wish you had
terrible.
applied this ever since.
Yes, it would have worked. So I won't come out and say that all my profitability is just from my own end. Am I profitable as a trader? Yes, currently, yes. But do I have as much money as I'm managing when I did not know so much? Currently, no. But I'm at the phase where I'm now building back to show myself. Success doesn't mean that, failures would have to be eradicated. Currently, I have issues I'm facing at the moment. But am I better off than I was like back then? 100% yes. Am I still working with my investors? Yes, I'm still working with them. Wow. But the issue, what happened along the line was they didn't start, so they were not giving me as much money because they are not stealing. So they are not giving me as much money as they were giving me before. But currently they are giving me, like they are involved in my growth process. So when I tell them I need this amount of money, it's still in millions, right? Please, can you give me this amount? I want to test something. They are still willing to give me. But yes, I'm on that journey to, that's it.
Okay, man. I feel like we have a gamut of story to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if we can bring you back because there's a whole lot we need to still talk about. But for the want of time and lack of time, we just have to round off at this juncture. But before we go, your life currently right now, how you quickly, just in 1 minute, how do you manage stress? How do you manage settling the 700 million people the whole saga?
One of the things they did for me was to get someone to attend to my investors. So the Forex space is in a way, not like every other business. It's an emotional business. Yeah. So one of the ways that helped me was, I stopped talking to people at some point. Yes, it looked somehow, but because it's an emotional game. But I've been handling it so well. I'm still reaching out to people from time to time. But one thing I figured out was to be able to cater to that amount of people that I was owing and all of that, I needed to build structure. You can't be paying people from every profit you make. You need to build structure to be able to, cater to their needs. And it was something I had to learn the hard way. Initially, when this whole thing started, I was always paying. But so I'm currently at the point where I'm building structure to be able to, cater to a number of people.
All right. So guys, you guys have heard the whole story. I mean, it's crazy. Thanks so much for watching. And I'm hoping that we're going to bring Hephzibah back again to tell us a lot more about what he's been through and hoping that he's going to overcome the challenge. Thank you very much. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and also follow us on Instagram and on TikTok, The Profitable Podcast HQ. Yes, I go by the name Danny P. Peace.